Hey, this is Rick from Hiking Emergency Beacon, and today I'm out here with my GPSMAP 66i, and I'm going to do a little bit more navigation and track back with it, and maybe set some routes up and see if I can create a route on the device out here. So let's just get right to it and start some testing. I'm going to put that video here on my chest. I'll be holding this GPSMAP 66i here. As I'm going, you'll be able to see it. I'll take screenshots, and you will learn right along with me and see how good this is. Now, I will warn you, I am not using my phone. It is not synced, and so I'm not looking at it. It's all going to be on the device itself. But before I get into this field test, please like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications so you'll be alerted as soon as I put out new videos. Okay, I'm getting ready to try a few things here. So I will have screenshots up. It's not Scream. I will have screenshots up and I'll show you what works and doesn't work. Let's get going on this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can one thing I want to do is I want to move the screen. This is not touch screen. I will say, if you're interested, the Montana 700i and 750i are touch screens. This is not. See, can't touch it. Well, almost looked like it did something there. That's just because I moved this. All right, so I'm sitting right here, that little blue triangle. My screen is going blank because I have it on more of a battery save mode. In fact, I'm going to show you that right now because that I don't want on at the moment. So if you go to System, and then go to Display, then their backlight timeout is 1 minute. I do not want that right now. Let's stays on for the moment. That'll burn my battery up. Battery save is on. We're going to turn it off because I want to show you things without it, continuing to do things to save battery. Now, let's look at if we can create a route. Now, there's a route planner right here. And if I go into that, now what it's saying here, they're showing, I'm at the Dawson's Butte. I'm going to show you this real quick. If I want to click on it. I'm going to go down to Dawson's, and I did hit enter. Whoop, route truncated. Not sure why it says that. Enter to dismiss. Dawson's. Now we can go over here. I can arrow up the top to the map, and then this is elevation information. So let's go back to the map real quick. Now, if I want, I can hit go right here and start tracking. Well, let's just see what happens if I hit go. Well, I want to hit go. There it is. So I want to hit go. Only 50 points can be used for on-road navigation. So, hey, you're learning right here with me. But this isn't what I want to do. So there is an issue. I'm not on-road navigation. I am doing something else here. So we're going to get back out of this. Now, what I want to do is I want to be in Route Planner, and I want to hit Create Route. Now, it says select point, first point. So I'm going to select that. And it says use map. So I'm going to use map. And what I really want to do is I want to go farther down. Let's see. Right now it's the arrow is still there. I want to arrow around. How do I do? Oh, there it is. I have to push and hold. So I want to make my way over to this trail right here. So I'm going to hit that. Add point added to route. I don't know if you saw that, but see if I can capture it next time. Then I want to keep going down. Now that just says playpen path. What does that? And there's point added to route. Darn it, I turned it off. Okay, when you're using screen capture, it's just a touch of the power button. If you hold the power button down longer, it will turn it off. That's what I did. I held the power button down too long when I was trying to take a screenshot. Now, before I do anything else out here, I need to go back into my menu, and I'm going to have to turn screenshot back on. So I go to setup, and I go to display, and then here it says screen capture off. Every single time it will turn it off when you turn your power off. So if you want a screenshot, you have to turn it on every single time you power on. Okay, so now we're going to go back to Route Planner. I'm going to be doing a lot more tests on all this, everybody. So as I mess up here, you're going to see my mess ups. So we're going to go route planner. What I want to be able to do is I want to be able to put a lot of points down. It says use map. Now again, I'm going to arrow over here. Let's just try one thing here. I'm going to hit use, and let's see if I can add more. Calculating. I'm going to click that point. See, it'll let me add a point to the map again. Add a point. I'm just going to keep going down. See how accurate this is. And I want to get down to a point where see, it's showing a trail. Perfect. Oh, this is awesome. See, this is what I wanted to know. Will it follow the trail? Because what I want to do is I want to come down here. That's so perfect. Thank you so much, Garmin. And I'm going to put a point down there. And then I'm going to say use. Point added to your route. Okay. Now, how do I actually use it and start tracking? Or not tracking, but navigating. So, Dawson's Butte Trail. How do I start this? Okay, so it says Dawson's Butte Trail. Select next point. Now there's two of them there. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to screenshot that. I'm going to click on that. It says review, move up, insert, remove. That's not what I want to do. Move up. We're going to go up to this one. And we're going to click that one. Now see, it's more points. That is not what I wanted to do. Well, it's creating a route. But how do I use it? If I say use, point added to the map. Playpen path. Oh, these are different points that I've just now created. See, these are all points I've created, and because playpen path is the name of a path, these are on the path. Now it wants to select the next point. But what I really want to do is now it's saying move up. Now I don't understand this. I'm going to put this in the video because I've got to figure this out because I'm creating a route, but I don't know how to go and track it or navigate by it. So that's created a route. Now, okay, let's try something else. We're going to go back to, there's a waypoint manager. We need to find where we can, that was the route planner. I want to go to where I can navigate. Okay, so there's setup over here. That's the next screen to set things up. There's messages, SOS, InReach weather, waypoint manager, route planner. I was just on that. There's active route course planner. There is currently nothing active. Now there's a course planner. Let's check this out. On course planner, direct path, create direct path or calculate on available roads and trails. I would say roads and trails. So I don't want a direct path. Roads and trails. All right, select first point. Use map. This is probably what I wanted. So what I want to do is I want to come down here. See, that says playpen path. That's why it showed up at playpen path. So hopefully this one will work this time. I'm going to come over here after the trail splits. Right here. And I'll hit that and use it. Point added to course. All right, but I just says use. Okay, review, next point, done. Course requires at least 2 points to be saved. Okay. And we're going to go down here. We're going to discard changes. No, cancel. We want to go to next point. Map. And we're going to go down here a little farther. Right here, and we're going to hit that. Use, add point added to course. Use that. Well, I'm probably added another point. Now, we're going to say done. Calculating. So, was that a course name? So, let's go here and look. That's a different one. That's field 1. That's one I've done before. Course 1. What's this course? Is that it? No, that can't be it. That is not it. So I created a course just now. I'm not on Sandstone Ranch. We are going to, I'm going to make a video about how messed up I am, I think. Active route. What's on the active route? There is currently no active route. Waypoint Manager. December 18th. It's not December 18th. It is 22nd. Dawson's Trailhead. September 2nd. These are already points I put down. Route planner. I don't want to create a route. I want to collections manager. Let's go to collections. Oh, there we go. I think this might be it. Collections manager. Not synced. I think we want to go down to what was the pen path pen, whatever. But these, now I'm telling you right now, these are ones I've already created. I'm gonna have to come out here and test this some more. I'll defer. These are not in alphabetical order. They may be a distance away, but may be true. There's the map. Now I know I can go over here like this. Let's just try this real quick. Now see if I just arrow down without going to route planner, and I want, see these two trails, I'll show you real quick. There's two trails, one's kind of orange and one's purplish, it looks like. If you can see that, I'll have a screenshot up. And if I just hit enter right now, it says Dawson's Butte Trail, Tomahawk Road. So it gives this Dawson's Butte Trail. Let's just see what that says. And it says okay. I'm gonna hit go, calculating. Okay, so now it's telling me here to turn to my right. Now there's, I don't know if you see it, there's a bunch of trees right here. I know where the trail is though. This is not what I was thinking about doing, but this is part of the test, all right? We are going to walk through this open snow, make sure I haven't left anything behind. This is where I was doing my video. And you can see right now, the sun's setting over the Rocky Mountains. This is Dawson's Butte right here. This is called the Dawson's Butte Open Space Trail. There's a bit of some mountains poking up over the Front Range there. That's Devil's Head. If you know anything about the Front Range, that's Devil's Head. There's an active fire lookout up there. But that's not where we're going. Today, we are talking about this right here. So you can see, and again, I'll take screenshots, the purple or magenta path to the left. My arrow is pointing this way because that's where I'm looking. And if I turn, see now I'm pointing at the trail. Let's go walk up here and do this a little bit, because what I want to do, I really want to show you what it's like to track with this and not use your phone. Honestly, using your phone is, I say it's cheating. It's a lot more convenient. But if you're out in the mountains, you're on a really rugged, rock mountain climbing or major hike, major outdoor activities, and you don't want to rely on your phone. Because if you rely on your phone, one, it doesn't do as good in a rugged outdoor situation, and it loses its battery real quick. So it's nice to have something like the GPSMAP 66i, where you can not only get search and rescue and two-way message, but you can navigate and track back. I had a lot of people, I'm just going to mention this real quick. I had a lot of people say, well, you don't need that. You can navigate other ways. Well, sure, absolutely you can. You can navigate on your phone. You can navigate with other GPS devices. My channel is not about that. My channel is about having satellite communicators where you can get help with SOS, with search and rescue teams, and two-way message when you're outside cell service. And you cannot do that on your phone outside cell service unless you have a sat phone. So it's just nicer. There's benefits to having maps and navigating and track back and weather on these satellite communicators. So just if you're thinking about putting a comment up saying, yeah, you navigate on something else. Well, yes, no kidding, you can. But it's nice if you can navigate on your satellite communicator. All right, let's keep walking. This happens to be a deer trail and not a people trail, but I am coming up to a people trail. When I came out here, I spooked a few mule deer, but well, I guarantee you they're around here. This snow is really deep right here. I mean, it's 1.5 feet deep, very deep. I think we only got about 8-9 inches of snow, but this was very deep right there. We're coming up to the trail. Okay, here's the trail. That goes back to the car or truck. This is a very short hike to the right for this test, and there's Dawson's Butte. Okay, so you can see right here magenta trail in front with the white arrow. Basically the white arrow saying, get moving, Rick. We're not going very far though, or we'll be out here in the dark. Okay, I'm coming up on a trail here, and you can see from the screenshot, maybe you can see from the device itself here, there are 2 trails that split off to the left, and the trail I want to go is to the right. But you know, I'm going to test something here real quick. I want to go right, but I'm going to go left. I apologize for not being way out in the wilderness, but this great trail here is near my house, and there's a road nearby, and so you may have just heard some car noise. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go the wrong direction. I'm going to see, as the Mini 2 will do sometimes, or all the time, it'll tell you if you're off course. And I'm going to track back in a second, but I just wanted you to see some things that what happens if you do take the wrong path. You can see that I'm off course. I'm now heading the right direction, but what I want to do right here is I want to look at the TracBack. So we're going to enter here. It says resume, but we are going to hit X. Okay, clear the current activity, all trip data will be reset. I want to say cancel. What I want to do here is, if I were lost, what would I do? In this case, where I was following the route, I'm still have it shown. It doesn't say anything about TracBack. Now if I come over here, that should be save. All right, I think, yeah, saved activity. So now I come back here and hit X if I want. I can say clear all trip. Let's just say clear for a second. The trail's still there. Now, if I want to track back, I mean, how would I do that? One way for me to do this would be to follow or put a point down just like I did this first time. But I would really like to see how to track back. InReach weather, manager, route planner, active route. There's active route. If I hit on active route, no, there it shows it. But that is not what I want to do. Okay, we're going to go to tracking here. Again, apologize for the car noise. Tracking, change item order. No, I don't want to do that. I want to track back. Well, I did hit change item order, but that takes me to setup. That's not what I want to do. I am jacked. I don't know what to do here. Let me just say real quick, there's so much power in this 66i, but the problem is, say, versus the Mini 2, the Mini 2 is so much more easier to navigate through and do the most important things you need. Okay, here it says start tracking. Well, okay, I had never started tracking in the first place. There's send map share. What I should have done to start with is I should have started tracking. See, there's a green arrow on that. a check mark. It's not an arrow, check mark. So I am tracking, but I'm already out. But I'm going to track back just for the heck of it. But in this case, what I would know to do right now is I would go to my map and I would arrow over to where I started if I wanted to find my way back. Now, I am going to do my final video here closer to the trail. A lot of people are leaving right now. They're not here anymore. So I'm going to hit that point right there. And playpen path, yep, so I'm going to hit that and it says go. I'm going to hit go. So now, see, it's showing the route going back. So this is not TracBack. I'm going to have to show you TracBack on at another time. What I'm going to be probably labeling this as Failed Navigation and TracBack using the Garmin GPSMAP 66i will probably be my title for this video. All right, but you're seeing some of this, and this should prove a real big point to all of you. Don't go on your actual outdoor adventure until you know this device inside and out. All right, I'm gonna track here more. I'm gonna not track, but navigate back to the trailhead before it gets real dark, and then I'll wrap this video up and I'm gonna head home and have dinner. Back to the video in progress. So I have been tracking back and I didn't make it all the way back to the beginning because, as you can see, it's getting dark. Got some screenshots though, and I can track back to safety with what I've done. Was not able to use TracBack because I didn't set it up correctly. I do have tracking on right now, however. So in a follow-up video, I will show you how do start tracking and then track back and do more navigation. I'm going to do more in-depth studies on this and research and field tests because I still don't know this GPSMAP 66i. When it's cold, it's harder to talk, or I just may have trouble anyway. I'm having trouble with this 66i still because it's very powerful. Things are vastly different than the Mini 2, and I'll just give you a heads up still. My Mini 2 is still my #1 satellite messenger. Everything I need on the Mini 2, it's there. It's easy to get to. It's just more simple. Long battery life. I love it. But I still am going to do everything I can to see if the 66i might become my new go-to satellite messenger. You just have to be careful with the battery. All right. So as you can see in the video, and I'm going to show this stuff, I was messing up. I was going to Route Planner and, you know, Active Planner, Active Route. I was going around because I just telling you, the Mini 2 is just so much more simple. And what I finally ended up doing was I just moved my arrow over on the screen, picked a point, and then it said, yep, all right, go. And so I went. That's easy. But when I got out there, I was trying to track back. No, I wasn't able to see how to track back. All right. As I was saying, I forgot what I was saying. But I'm going to do a lot more research and field tests because this I can't talk. This 66i is extremely powerful. But I remember what I was going to say. Please leave a comment below. If you know how to do something on this 66i, there's so many ways to do things. If you know better ways to do things, and anybody can tell me how to use it better than I just did. But if you have advice and suggestions, please leave comments below. Or if you have questions about you don't know how to do something because I didn't do a good job of just showing you, leave a comment or question below because I will come back out here, and once I know how to do it, I will test it and show it to you. And this is going to be an ongoing thing for several months as I really get to understand this. I come back to the same thing here that I say all the time. Test, test, test. Do not go out, especially with something like this, on your actual outdoor adventure if you haven't tested it. And if you just tested it once, you still are making a mistake. Unless you're an expert and a pro and you have a lot of experience, all right, maybe. But if you're like me, and I have more experience with satellite messengers or communicators than most people do, and I still mess this up. Always test, always make sure you know what you're doing before you go out on your outdoor adventure. Thanks for joining me on this video here in Colorado, and I'll see you in the next one.